I have all 9 dog types in Minecraft, and today I want to build them an epic dog training resort using several of the new tough and copper blocks in the 1.21 update. Let me show you where I want it to go so we can get started on the build. If I follow this valley, the one that my homestead is in, it'll take us to the area where I'm going to build. Oh, hey, I never told you guys about this little house, did I? Wait, just a sec, let's pop in. So one night, in between the 2 seasons, I had a terrible bout of insomnia and I couldn't sleep at all. And I was in the mood to build because I haven't been building as much when I was waiting for the 1.21 update. So I popped in and just put this little house together one night because that was what I was in the mood for. Down below, there's a tunnel, and the tunnel goes all the way to my big lush cave and one of the deep dark ancient cities. And so it actually has a purpose, but mostly I just wanted some kind of build on the stop on the way to where I knew we were going to build later. That brings us to the beautiful valley surrounded by mountains that we're going to build in today. Before we could build over here, I took down an entire village to make room for our dog training retreat. After finding all of the wolves and taming them to dogs in last week's episode, this is where I dropped them all off. You'll see we have at least one of every single type and multiples for some of them, but I'll easily be able to use meat to breed up so that I have multiple of each of the 9 types. Down here is where I've put together the base foundation for the building. If you're familiar at all with my channel, you'll know that I don't use Litematica. I just build straight in game because it's more fun for me, and I like to put together a foundation. This is the best way to make sure that the building structure is going to go together specifically so that the roofs will touch, so that they will come together in really good angles. I don't have the Freecam mod or the Replaymod, so I'm just going to fly up real quick so you can get a good overview of what this layout looks like. So you can see real quick, it's just a bunch of squares and rectangles all kind of tucked together, and I want the squares to be really big, beautiful towers. They'll be all the way up to probably 3 levels. And the smaller rectangles kind of off and onto the side won't be quite so high. So it'll build up into a really elegant, kind of amazing mansion. Up here is where I've started my palette. One of the walls, or probably a big section of walls, is going to be a very ordinary oak color. And I've put a little bit of sandstone on one end just to get some lighter spots, and the beehives in the middle to add a different texture. The chest in front of each of these locations are the different things that I've put together to be ready for building. The second one, I'm still thinking about. I definitely want to use the new copper blocks. This is probably going to be the roof of the whole thing. But the regular copper blocks are a little bit bright, so I'm thinking of going with this one toned down variation and mixing it in for all of them instead of doing the regular copper. I haven't quite decided yet. Over here are going to be the decorative and trim blocks, which is very standard, mostly spruce and a little bit of stripped dark oak. And then down here is going to be the foundation. It goes all the way from a little bit of wool down to the new tough blocks. I'm really excited to mix those in, and the foundation of this building is actually quite substantial, so there'll be enough tough blocks to be super fun. The last wall combination down here is very orange. I wanted it to be a beautiful, but kind of a vibrant contrast to the orange on the roof, but again, I'm still debating based on whether I tone the roof down. The big wide area around the building is going to provide excellent space, not just for landscaping, but also to put in some really cool dog training type of areas. I think that the dogs will mostly be living out of the building, so it'll be fun to have a wide plot. I learned from a comment on my previous episode that armadillos will naturally slough scoot, just not necessarily if you brush them, but just by existing, they'll slough it off, and then that can be collected into a farm. This is wonderful news, but it also means I need to go grab myself at least a couple armadillos. I flew over to the Badlands, the same one that we visited last time, because I knew there were armadillos there and was able to put some leads down and catch a couple of them. In fact, I ended up with several because sometimes you lose animals on your way back home. As I started the path with the armadillo, just even that first one, they are so slow. They are very slow walkers, and I realized that this was going to be a daunting journey. Armadillos breed up with spider eyes, so I packed up an entire stack of those so I could make more armadillos while I was on the way, and that way I'd be insured to be home with some of them. They're so cute. The baby armadillo is so cute. I have 1,200 blocks to go with these armadillos in tow, and that includes at least one really good mountain range, so it better be worth it to get him back where I can use him more frequently. My new armadillo friends are all the way back home. I've just got them leashed to a little fence post here where I have other resources for the build. You'll see just over from the armadillos is a hole where I put all the villagers when I was clearing out the village up above. I'm back up on top and I'm looking at the copper, and I just think I'm going to go ahead and change the blocks on the outside. Instead of the jungle, that's the stripped jungle and the orange kind of terracotta, I'm going to switch it out for the white and gray terracotta. The problem is I don't have very much of it, but I really do like the way that it works with the color variation. So I'm going to pop back over to the Badlands and fill up a shulker of terracotta. Now that I have everything I need, it's time to start building. Keep in mind, we don't have Replaymod yet for 1.21, so I'm just going to show you how this comes together in different sections. The first thing I need to put together is a farm for these armadillos so that I can collect all their scoot. Let's move them up into place. I want to use this big square in the middle as a feature habitat for the armadillos within my world. I think it might be fun to do this with other animals too, but for today, we're going to start with the armadillo. Thanks to help from some of my commenters, I now know all I need to do is put a chest down with some hoppers and I will be able to collect all the scoot that drops off them naturally. They just slough it naturally. Next up is carpet on top of the hoppers so it doesn't look so ugly, and then we'll put some really cute walls up and make it into a cozy space for our armadillo. I'm putting glass all along the front wall so that the visitors to this resort will be able to look in and see them kind of like a little bit of a zoo. The armadillos are all set, so now we can start building the other walls. I was minding my own business out here, just kind of putting copper down because I have a lot of it that I need to get to age to the different color, and a raid showed up. But look what it dropped. It's the ominous potion. This is my very first time seeing the item since the update came out, and I can't wait to try this in the trial chamber. It's actually kind of cool that I was able to find one before visiting. Don't worry, trial chambers are coming up very soon. Alright, up next is a creative little video montage of putting this build together. interrupting the build because I've got a little bit of a problem. As you can see, all the walls and the structure has come together, and I really love the shape of it, but I'm looking at these blocks that I've prepared to go on the roof, and I just don't think they're gonna work. The colors are just a little bit too pale, which is funny because I changed the color scheme because originally I thought the other ones were too bright. But now that I see them here with the orange and everything on the build already, I know that I need something darker. I did a little bit of a test strip just to see what it was going to look like, and that definitely confirmed, no, we're not going to use them. I am just going to go back to the original plan I had. The new plan is to do most of the roof in the dark oak, and then the top of the tower is going to be the original palette with the unexposed copper. I think it's gonna work. Let's finish up this build. Welcome to the Miko Dog Training Resort. I am so excited to tour you guys because the inside of this place is phenomenal. Here in our room over here is where the dogs lounge and sleep. You can see it shows which type of dog they are as well as what their name is, and they have toys scattered about and food bowls and sleeping mats and their own little space and a toy bin, of course, to put things away. Over here is the little exit out to the training area, and there are more dogs out here. This one here is Simon. Up here is Milo, and then we have Connor. Over here is Liam. Back here is Kara. Then we also have Ivy and Wendy and Ava. This backyard play area has all the tools they need to hang out, to have fun, to prepare for battle. That's what this statue here is for. It's also got tons of bones because it is a resort, and you'll notice there's no fences. The dogs are all here for a fun vacation. It's kind of like summer camp. Inside the main entrance, you'll notice things are very different. This is a little bit of a museum area. So you welcome in, you check in, and if you're bringing your dogs or if you've just come to learn a little bit more about them, this is where you would go. You'll see the signs over here teaching you all about the armadillos and looking in on their little cage. This looks so much like a museum to me on this side where you have the real exhibit. Also around the room are different signs and displays, so you can learn about the dog's relationship with cats, about their armor, about the toys they like to play with. This teaches about the different types of food they eat and how they like to go for walks. So many things. Over here we have the rewards for dogs who have competed and have come home with the trophy. But the biggest display, of course, is at the top of the stairs where we learn all about dogs' relationship with man. Through the little door here we have the office. This is where I have the portal for this area, and the other side is dedicated to everything about making armor for the dogs. I haven't made any of the armor for them yet. I thought we would try that together, so I'm just gonna grab a bunch of these dyes and some of the scoot that I already got from using the brush on the armadillos in the wild. After quickly crafting up the armor, I'm putting in the colors. Look at that! The white and the yellow made a paler yellow color. That is so detailed and going to be amazing to experiment with. I wonder how much scoot I have in the farm. Let's go check. Down here, wow. Okay, the scoot farm is definitely working well enough for my needs. It's going to be really cool to have good supplies. Oh, by the way, there's a balcony back here. I don't think I mentioned that on the tour earlier. It's kind of a cool place to look over and watch the dogs while they're playing. Anyhow, back to the armor. I have enough scoot now to make armor for all the dogs, so that's what I'm going to do, and then we'll go try some on. Okay, here we go. Armor. Aww. Okay, now I just really want to change that red color as well. I think we'll add some armor, but I'm going to come back with some more dyes. Simon looks like a strong dog, so I added the gray armor, and now I think we're going to put a white. No, let's do green. Wow. Okay, Simon looks like he's ready for a hike. Let's try it over here and do a white. Okay, this is the most decorative thing. It's actually kind of amazing to put these combinations together. Blue for Liam. It goes well with that pale brown. Green for Kara, and the teal looks so good together. I'm definitely going to do pink for Wendy. Oh, well then actually it's too much pink. Never mind, let's try white. Ivy has lots of orange in the color. Let's do orange on Ivy, and a pretty pale pink to finish off Ava. My dogs are super stylish and really happy. This was a fun build to put together. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though I couldn't show you really good pictures of the build. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Minecraft Day.